Shalom, shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered Israelites, to the scattered elect around the four corners of the earth, some that be like unto the speckled bird, to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. Parked in an undisclosed area, was out driving, working, and got other things to do in a minute, so I just pulled over to do this lesson because this right here in this spot, because I'm pretty sure that the owner of this RV is more than likely homeless, and they sleep in the RV right here because this is kind of a safe area, and I think they drive around all day or go somewhere and they come back here you know, in the morning. So I think they stay busy all night and they park right here. So truth be said, they're not homeless. They got a fancy RV to live in. Hell, I do that. That's actually, you know, they're ahead of the curve when I really think about it. You know, you don't have to worry about overhead, you know, just the maintenance on your vehicle, and you can just keep it moving when you have to move. So they're actually pretty wise. But it's also the flip side of that coin. It is showing you the state of America. All right, that the American dream is dead. And basically, I was listening to a radio talk show, and the author of a book called The Death Gap, and he's a doctor and an author, and a lot of his research was based around in Chicago. All right, like I said, the name of the book was The Death Gap, and he's the author of that book. And he's made a statement. He said there are two Americas, one doing well and the other not. Well, the fact that America isn't doing well, even half, is a sign that the curses are falling upon them. Amber Guy just got found guilty, and we still have to wait on her sentencing, but, you know, she did get found guilty, and her Edomite, you know, male didn't defend and protect her like they've often done in the past. You know, it just goes to show you that their power is falling, all right? Because they could hang, shoot, kill, rape, do whatever they wanted to us in the past, and there was nothing done about it. No one cared. All right, you gotta remember, thousands and thousands upon thousands of hangings, man. Over 60,000 recorded, and so we can imagine how many more this goes unrecorded, and not one Edomite male or woman went to prison for any of it, man. Not one. All right, but this is Deuteronomy 30:7, and it reads, "And the Lord thy power will put these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day." And see this mass awakening of the Israelites, of the true Israelites, all right, because they'll make mockery of that, is causing calamity and curses to fall upon Esau worldwide, and here in Babylon. The crazy weather patterns, you know, the loss of job, the loss of income, the loss of health. Okay, I mean, there's horrible things are happening unto them collectively. All right, then you have something that the guy said about the two Americas. He talked about concentrated poverty, and in some certain areas there is concentrated poverty, which, you know, hits some people, or hits Jake more than anybody, but now it's falling upon Esau Edom. All right, because there's a couple of other viaducts. This is a small one. There's one behind me. All right, but there's actually, you know, homeless people that sleep in this viaduct, mostly Jake. But you go down to the viaducts a little bit north of here and a little bit south of here, and they're full of Edomites. See, Edomites have joined. They're panhandling at all the expressway exits and entrances, you know, in the streets now, in prominent places. You got Edomites panhandling in Skokie, man, in Evanston. That's not good. All right. But still, the concentrated poverty is mainly in Jake's neighborhoods, man. They're food deserts. They don't have quality food, quality health care, none of that. Which is why there's such low birth rates and so much sickness. Okay? And that's unjust, man. Matter of fact, let's grab a couple scriptures on that. This is Micah 6:11, and it reads, "And I shall count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights." So with this bag of deceitful weights, man, they oppress the people. All right, being it with health care, with law, with opportunity. I mean, no matter how you look at it, man. With this unfair justice system, you see they're crooked from the police officers to the judges, man, and everything in between. All right. Another one is Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 23. And 23, Salakia. Divers weight are an abomination unto Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. So, hey, the Lord does not like a false balance, man. And the truth be said, the food and the health care is not divided up in Chicago fairly. Never has been. It never has been, man. There was another radio talk show I was listening to, and the talking point was about the school systems. All right, and I'll give you an example, man. And I may have mentioned this, but I'm gonna mention it again. The area of High Park, which is kind of like almost in the center, the center of the city collectively, and it's on the almost in the center of the so-called South Side. Okay, and High Park has been built up really, really nicely in like the last 10 years. And then I discovered something, man. Okay. Going back about 15 years ago, the boundaries of High Park got extended all the way to 67th and Stony Island, right? Which is about 1.5 miles past its original boundaries. But then I found out that all the way over to where I live, which is on the east side, okay? The southeast side, damn near, I'm like in Alphabet City, where all the streets are like, letter A, B, C, D, E, and that whole sort of thing, which is mostly Northern Kingdom over there. All right. But all the way to the boundary of 106, I'm on the other side of 106, but going all the way back, that's probably about 4 or 5 miles past High Park. Maybe even about 5. Yeah, that's at least 4 or 5 miles past High Park's boundaries. All the people that are paying taxes on their homes, all their taxes say High Park, which makes sense why a place called Beirut, which is Chatham, and Tarrytown, all right, all along the near the lakefront, okay, their schools really no development outside of the train tracks, and now they're trying to gentrify those areas because they're building up the bus lines and the train lines and that sort of thing. You're seeing more and more Edomites move into there. That's what we mean by unjust balances, man. All right, because you're going to take the taxes from one neighborhood and build up a neighborhood that's predominantly full of, the High Park is very mixed. All people are there. It's a major metropolis for people, but the majority there, I would say probably 50% of the homeowners and property owners in High Park, maybe even 60%, all right, are Edomites. Because you got Elam in there, you got some Hamites in there, you got some Jakes that's doing all right, But the majority of the people that live in High Park, all right, that are property owners and things of that nature are the Edomites, man. All the apartment buildings, you best believe those are owned by Amalekites. Okay. So it's just, so Esau deals in unjust balances, and they're also divided as a result of that. That's why they're two Americas, because the flip side of that coin, half of Edomite America is struggling, living paycheck to paycheck or worse. They also, you know, they all strung out on the opioids and stuff. So a house divided cannot stand. You know, the clock is ticking on this place, man. All right? Damn near every other car on the road has a Lyft sign in it or Uber sign in the window. And you talk to these people, you know, a lot of these people are educated. They have degrees and all that. All right? Okay, then another thing he talked about was a divergence in that book, once again referring to the book, The Death Gap, how breast cancer, which if that comes upon you, the Lord put that upon you, all right? Point blank, period. Let's get a scripture, because somebody's gonna get all shaken up. No, Satan did it, the devil did it. Well, if anything that Satan does, the Lord controls them anyway. You know, that's easy to prove with scripture. But here we go. This is Isaiah 45. And 7, and it reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So that when you get plagued with any sort of sickness or illness, the Lord is the one allowed to put it upon you, man. And then if he feels it that he's gonna have mercy on you, he'll bring you through it. If that illness takes your life, then the Lord required your soul, man. That was payment, you know. So just remember, these women that are being plagued with these illnesses, the Lord put it upon them, man. All right, and that's why they would die from it. But it just so happens that the divergence is that when you go back 20 plus years ago, Edomite women and Jake women of color, had breast cancer evenly. Now all of a sudden it's mostly Jake women that are dying from it, man. And one of the reasons for that is because of the lack of proper health care. You know, all the approved breast treatment centers are up on the north side where I'm sitting now. Because even though I'm sitting off on the side street, I mean, you know, you got I'm sitting in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Chicago. All right, one of the more wealthier neighborhoods, parts of town. All right, I'm just kind of in between, in the midst of an industrial area, but I go 2 blocks west of me, and 2 blocks east of me, north to south, and you're gonna see $1 million homes and condos, man. All right, but right along this side street, a couple blocks from where those places are, you know, when these cars clear out that all parked here working in the industrial areas, the homeless fill up these places because they sleep under the viaducts to stay directly out of the elements, man. That's what they do. And then this viaduct behind me kind of got like little cubby holes. That's why it's so popular. All right, but the reason why you get those unfair balances is because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. Let's read that. This is Job 9:24, and it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the Lord is saying, look, if these people aren't the wicked, where are they then? All right, because when you read about the wicked, and then you look at who's in control, and then you look at the nation of Edom, you're like, oh, okay, then it all begins to make sense. You know, and that's why they keep trying to teach in Christianity that Edom is done away with. They already been judged, and that's a lie. Because according to scripture, Edom has to be judged at the end. You know, that's why they removed the book of Ezra from the Catholic Bible. You know, when the Bible Destruction Group, when they removed the Apocrypha, they kept the when the Bible Destruction Group removed the Apocrypha, they completely eliminated. But the Catholic Bible kept the Apocrypha, but they removed the books of Ezra. Why? Because it clearly tells you that Esau will be ruling in the end of the world. All right, and this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 7 and 8. And it reads, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right? So Esau is ruling at the end, man, and we're at the end. All right? So they weren't done away with. Anyone teaching that is teaching a lie. All right? And so, another reason for this health, the great difference between the two, you got to remember what Lincoln said, man. Lincoln made a statement, something to the effect that there has to be a position of servitude and a position of dominance, and that he is for that the white race will always be in a position of dominance. You never hear that quote from Lincoln. All right. But this is Psalm 73 and 8. All right, and it reads, They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. All right, so they really don't care and speak loftily against, they're doing wicked. They don't care. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem B'Kakwadash, Wa Abba Baba. Shalom.